Welcome to the Explainer. So, you're ready to turn that brilliant business idea into a reality and lock down some ironclad legal protection in Massachusetts? Well, stick around because today we're unraveling the exact step-by-step roadmap to forming your Massachusetts LLC effortlessly. Look, I totally get it. Navigating state regulations, it can feel completely daunting, especially in the Commonwealth, which honestly has a reputation for a somewhat demanding setup process. But don't worry, we're going to look closely at the actual requirements, the exact fees, and the absolute fastest ways to get your business off the ground safely and legally. Here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with the Massachusetts LLC structure. Lay your foundation with a name and agent, file your certificate of organization, draft your operating agreement, set up your finances and taxes, and finally, make sure you're staying compliant. Let's dive in. Section 1, the Massachusetts LLC. Before we start filling out any state forms, we really need to establish why this structure is the ultimate choice for your business. Sure, a sole proprietorship is easy to start, but here's the catch. It provides absolutely zero separation between you and your business. If a storm hits, you are facing a limited personal liability. Yikes, right? An LLC, on the other hand, is the ultimate solution for Massachusetts entrepreneurs. It acts like an impenetrable shield for your personal assets while also offering super flexible pass-through taxation that completely avoids the dreaded double taxation trap of a traditional C Corp. Moving right along to Section 2, Foundation. Let's lay the groundwork and tackle Massachusetts's highly specific naming restrictions and legal representation rules. First up, your business name. And let me tell you, Massachusetts law is very strict here. Your LLC name absolutely must include the words Limited Liability Company or an abbreviation like LLC or LLC. It also has to be completely distinguishable from any other business already registered in the state. And you've got to avoid restricted words like bank or insurance unless you have specific government approvals. Dig pro tip for you here. Before you get too attached to a name, go search the Massachusetts Secretary of the Commonwealth's business database just to confirm your name is actually available. Now, if you've done any research on LLCs, you probably know the term registered agent. While Massachusetts likes to be unique, while 47 other states use registered agent, the Commonwealth specifically demands a resident agent. It's literally the exact same function, the person or entity officially authorized to receive your legal documents and lawsuit notices, but using the wrong term on your paperwork will stop your application dead in its tracks. So who actually qualifies to be your resident agent? Well, the state has some exact criteria. They must have a physical Massachusetts street address. P.O. boxes and virtual offices, strictly prohibited. They also need to be consistently available during standard business hours, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., to sign for those legal documents. Now, you can legally act as your own resident agent to save some money, but be warned, acting as your own means your personal home address becomes a permanent part of the public database. Because of that, a lot of entrepreneurs just hire a professional service to protect their privacy. All right, Section 3, Official Filing. This is the climax of our setup phase, the critical document that officially breathes life into your LLC. But before we look at the form itself, we gotta talk about the cost. $500. The Commonwealth requires a hefty, mandatory $500 state fee just to file your certificate of organization. Honestly, it's one of the highest formation fees in the country. Massachusetts definitely doesn't do cheap. And if you decide to file online or by fax for speed, there's an extra $20 convenience surcharge, bringing your grand total to $520. So how do we actually get this done? First, gather your info, your chosen legal name, office address, a brief description of your business, and your resident agent details. Second, navigate over to the Massachusetts Corporate Online Filing System. Third, submit the form and pay your fee. Step 4 is the wait. And this part is crucial. If you submit online or by fax, standard processing takes just 1 to 2 business days. If you try to save that $20 and mail it in, you'll be waiting 2 to 3 weeks. For most impatient entrepreneurs, that $20 online surcharge is absolutely worth the time saved. Section 4, Internal Rules, specifically your operating agreement. Interestingly enough, this document is never actually legally filed with the state, but it's an absolute necessity. Understanding what this document actually does is paramount. An operating agreement is a legally binding internal contract executed by the members of the LLC. It spells out your ownership percentages, exactly how profits and losses are distributed, voting rights, and the overall management structure. Most importantly, though, it serves as primary evidence that your LLC operates as a legitimate, separate legal entity. That protects your corporate veil, meaning if you ever get sued, their personal assets stay totally separate from the business. This is absolutely critical, guys, even for single-member LLCs. Seriously, listen to this closely. Without this agreement, state default laws apply, and they may not align with your intentions. Basically, if a dispute comes up and you don't have this document in place, a Massachusetts judge will just force generic state laws onto your business to resolve it. You really do not want that. By drafting your own agreement, you dictate the rules of your own business right from day one. Moving into Section 5, Financial Setup. It's time to deal with the IRS and the Massachusetts Department of Revenue to get your tax framework correctly in place. First things first, you need an EIN, or an Employer Identification Number. Think of this like a social security number for your business. You need it to open a business bank account or hire employees. The good news? You can get it completely free and usually on the exact same day, directly from the IRS website. Next, if you're selling taxable goods in Massachusetts, you've got to register to collect a 6.25% sales tax. Finally, while LLCs are usually pass-through entities, if you elect to have your LLC taxed as a C Corp, you'll be hit with the Massachusetts Corporate Excise Tax, which is 8% of your net income plus some additional property measures. Now, here is a truly fascinating tax strategy available in the state, the pass-through entity, or PTE tax. Massachusetts enacted this as a brilliant workaround to the federal $10,000 cap on state and local tax deductions. Here's how it works. An LLC can formally choose to be taxed at the entity level at a flat 5% rate. When they do that, the individual members can claim a massive 90% credit on their personal state income tax return for their share of that tax paid by the entity. It is an incredible option for profitable LLCs to significantly reduce their overall tax burden. Finally, Section 6, Staying Compliant. Forming your LLC is a huge milestone for sure, but keeping it in good standing with the state, that is an ongoing, every-year reality. Yep, I need to grab your attention with this number once again, $500. Not only was this your initial formation fee, but Massachusetts hits you with a steep $500 annual report fee every single year just to keep your doors legally open and your business active. And the deadline for this is critically important. Unlike states that just use a normal calendar year, you must file your Massachusetts annual report by your exact formation anniversary date. So if you formed your LLC on July 10th, your report and your $500 are due every single year on July 10th. If you miss that, the state slaps you with a massive $500 late penalty right on top of the original fee. And if you just keep failing to file, the state will administratively dissolve your LLC entirely, stripping away all your liability protection. You absolutely must put this date on your calendar. There is no denying it. The Commonwealth certainly demands a lot. Strict naming conformity, a reliable resident agent, flawless filings, and rigorous ongoing compliance with some really hefty fees. But by structuring your business correctly from day one with an LLC, securing that personal liability shield, and leveraging those tax flexibilities, you set yourself up for incredible sustainable growth. As always, just a quick reminder that this explainer is for educational purposes. Every business is unique, so we strongly recommend consulting a legal or business pro for personalized advice tailored to your specific situation and to stay updated on any new rules. If you found this helpful, drop your questions in the comments below and please hit that subscribe button for more in-depth business explainers. I'm going to leave you with this final thought. With all the rigorous rules and steep fees we just uncovered today, is your business foundation truly strong enough to weather the demands of Massachusetts, or are you leaving your personal assets exposed to the storm? See you in the next one.